I had always imagined that my wedding day would be the most joyful and meaningful moment of my life. I spent months meticulously organizing every single element, from the venue and decorations to the personalized vows Emily and I had written together. Everything had been planned down to the finest detail. I was ready to tie the knot with a woman I believed loved me as deeply as I loved her. But just hours before I was supposed to say, "I do," my entire world shattered. I uncovered a truth so painful it felt like my heart had been ripped from my chest. Emily had done the unthinkable. She had betrayed me in a way I never could have imagined. The night before the ceremony, we stuck to the traditional separate pre-wedding gatherings. Emily celebrated with her bridesmaids while I enjoyed a calm evening with my groomsmen. My best man, Jason, had been like a brother to me since we were kids. We'd been through thick and thin, breakups, job losses, life's highs and lows. There was no one outside of my family I trusted more. Never in my wildest dreams did I think the person standing beside me on my wedding day would be the very one to stab me in the back. On the morning of the wedding, I woke up early, buzzing with anticipation and nerves. That excitement quickly turned to dread when I received a message from one of Emily's bridesmaids, Sarah. The message was short but chilling. "You deserve to know the truth before you say I do. Check room 406. I stared at the text, my stomach knotting. A part of me wanted to ignore it, to trust Emily and chalk it up to a misunderstanding. But something deeper inside urged me to find out the truth. Hands trembling, I left my room and walked down the hallway toward room 406. My mind raced with horrifying possibilities. But even my worst fears didn't prepare me for what I was about to see. I opened the door and froze. There they were, Emily and Jason tangled in bed, asleep in each other's arms. The image seared itself into my brain. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The woman I planned to spend my life with and the friend I trusted with everything in bed together on the morning of our wedding. The pain was indescribable. Rage surged through me. My chest felt tight. My vision blurred. But I didn't shout. I didn't lose control. I simply stepped back, pulled out my phone, and snapped a photo. I needed evidence. Then I quietly shut the door and left without waking them. There was still a wedding to attend, just not the one they had in mind. Back in my room, I took a moment to collect myself. Then I got to work. First, I messaged Sarah to thank her for the warning and asked her to keep everything to herself until the ceremony. Next, I called the wedding coordinator and arranged a few discreet changes to the reception plans. I had no intention of letting Emily and Jason ruin the day entirely. I would make sure they felt every ounce of the pain they caused me. When the ceremony began, I stood at the altar and watched Emily walk toward me in her wedding gown, all smiles, looking like the picture-perfect bride. She had no idea I knew. I forced a smile back, keeping my composure as the music faded and the officiant began. Then came time for the vows. Emily spoke first, delivering a touching speech about commitment, trust, and a future built on love. The irony of her words nearly made me laugh. When it was my turn, I pulled out my phone, looked her squarely in the eyes, and said, "Before I say my vows, there's something I need to share with everyone here." I turned the phone toward the guests and displayed the photo I had taken, the image of Emily and Jason wrapped up in bed. The reaction was immediate. Gasps echoed throughout the room. People whispered in disbelief. Emily's face went ghost white. She brought her hands to her mouth, horror etched in her expression. Jason, standing just feet from me as my best man, froze, visibly shaken, the blood draining from his face. I looked back at Emily and said, "I thought you were the one. I was ready to spend the rest of my life with you, but you couldn't even wait one night. And Jason, I called you my brother. You threw away years of friendship for a few stolen moments. For what?" Tears rolled down Emily's cheeks. She stammered, "Please, can we talk about this in private?" I shook my head. "No, you chose to make this public when you decided to betray me right before our wedding." Then I turned to the stunned audience and said, "There won't be a wedding today, but since everything's already paid for, please enjoy the reception." What followed was chaos. Emily ran out in tears. Jason tried to follow her, but was stopped by several of our mutual friends who had just witnessed everything. My family and friends gathered around me, some offering comfort, others applauding me for standing up for myself and exposing the truth. The reception took on a new tone, not a celebration of marriage, but freedom and a fresh start. And oddly enough, it felt liberating. In the days that followed, Emily sent long emotional messages. She blamed alcohol, claimed it was a mistake, and begged for another chance. Jason, on the other hand, stayed silent. Maybe he knew there was nothing he could say to make it right. I never replied to either of them. Instead, I focused on healing and spending time with people who genuinely cared for me. Eventually, I came to a powerful realization. Betrayal doesn't destroy you. It reveals who truly belongs in your life. Emily and Jason showed me exactly who they were. And in a strange way, I was thankful for that, because now I was free to find someone who truly deserved my heart. As for them, they ended up with exactly what they earned.